Solution.
Penalty tracker assist, Ref Boyardee.
Penalty box admin, Scully Glassbones.
Penalty box admin, Lucifer.
Whiteboard, Daddy Mike.
Eye in the sky, Racy Tracy.
Eye in the sky, Professor McGonagall.
On scoreboard, Bender B. Rodriguez.
Stats, Olivia Smoke.
And on stats, Melissa Rollins.
At front pack referee, your Regulators co-captain, Stabitha Christie.
And your captain of the Regulators as head referee, Lollipop. Show some love for the Regulators. It could be the only love they get all night. We'd like to direct your attention to the video boards here in the arena for a brief video.
Our dessert truck, Fantasy Funnel Cakes, is a food truck that can make your fantasies come true. Step outside and get a dessert to die for. They also have corn dogs, pretzels, churros, and fried Twinkies. Delicious food for your face.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get underway with our team intros for the first bout this evening. And first up on the track, here are the Bombshells. Skating tonight for the Bombshells, number 6, Anakin Shit-Talker. Number 817, Bitch Please. Number 750, Bodily Harm. Number 1024, Brawler Bunny. Number 44, Magnum, Dirty Carry. Number 60, Gwen Coco. Number 22, Impaler Swift. Number 42, Irish Car Bomb. Number 427, Lieutenant Ripley. Number 1931, Mickey Mental. Number 777, Rough Rider. Number 2-22, Scarlet Knockout. Number 626, Remy Ruckus. And your captain of the Bombshells, number 55, Skid Vicious. Helping the team on the bench tonight, our bench coach, Deadly Limbs. Penalty manager, Mimi Mahler. Not skating tonight, number 24K, the co-captain, Gold Digger.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now taking the track, your Coffin Draggers! Now starting 90210, it's Beverly Kills. Number 616, Craven Cadavers. 101, it's Devil's Advocate. 6553, it's Devachka Delarge. Number 8, Ginger Mortis. 651, Grace Ventura. Number 27, Laura Stabs. Number 7780, Moxie Mausoleum. Number 1012, Skeletina. Number 7, The Destroyer. 1819, it's Victoria Van Gore. 7656, it's Zombaby. Number 30, Zora La Bruja. Number 23, and your co-captain, Tyranny. 803, your captain, the Panda Face Killer. Helping them on their bench tonight is bench coach, Redurculus, and penalty manager, Grantula. Not skating tonight is 217, Vava Doom, and 1029, Reckless Rose. Let's put our hands together for all our skaters. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise for the national anthem. Tonight's national anthem singer is Kenya Diggett of the Doomsday Valkyries. Kenya is a member of Arizona's Derby Dames, skates with the Valkyries, and when she's not jamming and scoring points for her team, she's working hard bartending in downtown Phoenix and taking care of her beautiful son, Jonah.
Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare
right, Derby fans, just about to get underway here. We'd like to let you know, please help support our juniors, the Minor Assaults, and visit their silent auction table next to the Arizona Derby Names merchandise window. They are fundraising to defend their #1 ranking at Battle on the Bank this June in Houston, Texas.
That's a typo.
We are ready to get underway with our first jam of the evening. Setting up the jam for the Bombshells is going to be Anakin Shit-Talker, and jamming for the Coffin Draggers is Zombaby. Skeletina, not Zombaby, I'm sorry.
Skeletina running to the high, trying to find her way through that vicious wall of Bombshells. Anakin looks like she's struggling at the front, but manages to escape.
Anakin's out, has about a quarter of a track lead on Skeletina now as they both come on around. Anakin's going to tries to get past a couple of skaters before calling off the jam. We will check the score here from the referees as they come on around and report in. 1 point for the Bombshells. Bombshells jump out to the very early, very small 1-0 lead here in the very early going. That's going to be Devil's Advocate for the Coffin Draggers. And for the Bombshells is Dirty Carry.
Both jammers trying to find their way through the pack, but meeting vicious defense on both sides. Both of these teams are looking fantastic tonight. Dirty Carry still trying to fight through at the front, but manages to escape with the help of Skid.
It looks like we've had a star pass, and taking over as jammer for the Coffin Draggers is going to be number 7, the Destroyer, as Dirty Carry approaches the pack on the back straightaway, fights her way through, gets past a couple of skaters, and calls off the jam.
Now taking the track, it's Anakin Shit-Talker for the Bombshells and Skeletina for the Coffin Draggers.
Bombshells have doubled their point total in 2 jams. They now have 2 points, 3 points officially reporting. And look at that. Incredible. Compounding faster than interest. Bombshells now 3 points with 2 points in that previous jam. The jam is underway. Both jammers up into traffic. These are the same 2 jammers we saw in the first jam. Anakin now mid-pack trying to fight her way through, knocked down to the ground. Skeletina to the top, to the bottom, trying to find her way through. Now Skeletina finds an opening, ducks through along the coping into the first turn, and she's your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Anakin Shit-Talker still hung up in the pack. Now here comes Skeletina. And Skeletina able to get through. Excellent blocking by the Coffin Draggers, opening up a lane for Skeletina, and she gets through on a scoring pass, coming around for seconds.
Panda Face Killer not letting up on Anakin Shit-Talker, making that a heck of a person to get past.
Skeletina gets through. More good blocking from the Coffin Draggers, and like me at Thanksgiving, here comes Skeletina for thirds. 8 seconds to go in the jam with Skeletina approaching the pack. This time runs into a little bit of defense, trying to tiptoe by and cannot keep her toe blocks on the track. And that's going to do it for the jam clock.
Skeletina racking up quite a lot of points. Let's get the official word on that. 14 points for the Coffin Draggers. Looks like we got a few penalties, making the packs uneven. Bombshells down by 2 skaters and the Coffin Draggers down by 1. Jamming for the Coffin Draggers, it's Victoria Van Gore. And for the Bombshells, it looks like Bitch Please. Gory is your lead jammer, escaping the pack first.
And here comes the Bombshells jammer, Bitch Please, out of the pack as well. And Victoria Van Gore gets her hips in front of a couple of skaters and calls off the jam. Three more points for the Coffin Draggers there. It's going to be Tyranny on the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers up against Anakin Shit-Talker for the Bombshells.
Both jammers trying to push their way through the pack, but both teams' defense is really on it tonight. That's a tough wall. But it looks like, yep, Tyranny escapes the pack and is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
And there was a big collision there at the top of the back straightaway. Big collision. Anakin Shit-Talker ends up coming out on top of that one.
Looks like, I think that was Moxie. That was a heck of a hit.
Large collision between the both of them. Moxie looked like she got the worst of it because Anakin still got out. Hard-hitting action here in roller derby. Coming up now, that's going to be Devil's Advocate jamming for the Coffin Draggers.
And it looks like Skid Vicious for your Bombshells. Skid playing a little defense with her team before continuing to jam.
And there we go, both jammers out of the pack. Out in front is Devil's Advocate, Skid Vicious. Fleet of Skate is right behind. Devil's Advocate up to the pack now, tries to duck her way through and pick up a couple of points before calling it off. We will wait for the score.
That was so close. Let's see how many points. Looks like Coffin Draggers picked up 2 points. Right on Coffin Draggers.
And it looks like Skid Vicious picked up a penalty during that previous jam. Skid Vicious penalized as the jammer. That is going to result in a power jam for the Coffin Draggers. Devil's Advocate right back out there with no break. She's going to go out there and do the power jam here for the Coffin Draggers. If you're new to Derby, a penalty on your jammer means that you don't get a jammer in the next jam, so you can't score any points. And the Coffin Draggers are going to be singularly focused on getting their jammer out and around as many times as possible. With that, there goes Devil's Advocate exiting the pack and is now an active scorer.
Looks like the Draggers have pulled a go in attempts to get their jammer as many points as humanly possible. All players have to stay within 20 feet. If they break that 20 feet mark, makes easy points for the jammer.
24 seconds to go in the Coffin Draggers power jam. Here comes Devil's Advocate making her way down through the first turn and up the backstretch.
Devil's Advocate slicing through the pack one more time. Let's see if she's got enough time to make another lap.
And trying to get through the pack before the clock expired. We'll wait for the score. Almost all the way through the pack that third time. It was a 14-point power jam for the Coffin Draggers and extends their early lead here about halfway through the first quarter. However, it appears that the Coffin Draggers also incurred a penalty on their jammer there, so this is going to be now a power jam for the Bombshells. Anakin Shit-Talker out there to do the power jam thing for the Bombshells, but before we get to that, looks like we are going to have a stoppage of play. It's going to be an official timeout. So we'll step aside from the action for just one moment and give some of our league sponsors a little bit of love.
Official timeouts are the best time for league sponsors.
Copper Star Coffee, a locally owned coffee shop and cafe providing hand-blended drinks and award-winning baked goods. Southwest corner of 7th Avenue in Heather Bay, just north of Indian School Road. Third Space. Come join us at the Arizona Derby Dame's official after-party location, Third Space. Cafe, bar, coffee, shops, and music. Located at 1028 Grand Avenue.
Looks like our refs are finishing up assessing some penalties, probably on both sides. That board is pretty full. It's literally just at random. Finger guns up, whistle blown. Looks like Coffin Draggers do get a jammer. It's Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers and Bitch Please for the Bombshells. But both teams are skating with only 2 blockers on each side. This is going to change up their strategy a little bit. And it looks like Bitch Please is your lead jammer for the Bombshells.
Quickly moving pack now, approaching the far turn and trying to find her way through is Victoria Van Gore. Now out of the pack she is, so that's going to put the pressure on Bitch Please to get some points on this scoring pass. runs up into those two blockers trying to get through them and manages to do so and calls off the jam.
Looks like your Bombshells picked up 4 points that jam.
Setting up the jam now is going to be Dirty Carry for the Bombshells, and for the Coffin Draggers, it's Skeletina. While we get everything sorted out here, I'd like to say, hey, Elizabeth Taylor's in the house, everybody. Elizabeth Taylor, hi. Big cheer. We are underway now in this jam. All the I's dotted and the T's crossed. Both jammers trying to fight their way through, and there goes an opening. Skeletina has emerged from the pack as the lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
You got to watch out for those smaller jammers. They will slip right through the tiniest holes. Skeletina's definitely known for doing that. And she glides right through that pack again. Dirty Carry still trying to make her way through the pack. Looks like she's stopped and started to play some defense for her team.
Skeletina rapidly on through the pack on her second scoring pass, now coming around for scoring pass attempt number 3 here, and it does look like the Bombshells have shifted into a defensive mode here and trying to block her up and at least try to get in her way on one of these scoring passes, and it looks like they did at least hold her up a little bit there, but Skeletina able to get out of the pack. Short on blockers this time around. That'll do it for the clock.
Looks like your Coffin Draggers managed to pick up 15 points in that jam. And it looks like the Bombshells jammer may have gotten a penalty. So we have a power jam for the Coffin Draggers. Doing the honor is 101 Devil's Advocate.
Just over 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Devil's Advocate going to try to put some more points on the board for the Coffin Draggers and really build that lead. Able to go to the high side, then duck down to the low, and she is an active scorer now coming on around.
Craven Cadavers playing some excellent offense for her jammer. Getting her out that first run.
And Devil's Advocate gets through the pack. 33 seconds to go here in the Coffin Draggers power jam. Devil's Advocate now approaching the pack again. Squarely into a 2 wall of blockers and dumped off onto the infield that time. Swung around the corner. You can see the Coffin Draggers have the pack separated. You can see that there's Bombshells pinned in behind those Coffin Draggers and back. That keeps the pack all but stationary. They can't stop, but they don't have to inch forward any further than literally an inch. With 4 seconds to go here in the power jam. Now the pack picks up a little bit of speed, trying to keep that last point from being scored by Devil's Advocate.
Now coming to the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers is your co-captain, Tyranny. And for the Bombshells, looks like we've got Dirty Carry. Looks like the Coffin Draggers are making some last-minute adjustments as some late penalties got called. Looks like they're skating down a couple of blockers.
And there we are with this jam. Both jammers right out of the pack, and Tyranny immediately calls it off rather than run the risk of surrendering lead jammer status. So we will go ahead and reconvene and set up. It's going to be Victoria Van Gore for the Bombshells. And it's Anakin Shit-Talker. Excuse me, Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers. Anakin Shit-Talker for the Bombshells. When both teams are wearing black and green, you get confused. Or maybe that's just me, but, you know, I'm old Greg.
Anakin Shit-Talker making lead jammer. She's coming around lightning fast. Victoria Van Gore still struggling to get through that tough defensive wall of the Bombshells. And it looks like she manages to pass the panty to destroy her.
Anakin Shit-Talker now barreling down the front straightaway is going to try to get through here. Gets up to the pack, passes through on a scoring pass, and calls off the jam.
Bitch, please come into the jam line now for the Bombshells.
9 points for the Bombshells there. 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Lilu Dellis does some quick footwork and makes her way out of the pack and is your lead jammer.
There goes Tyranny, weaving her way through a very spread out pack, able to get through and laps the jammer for the Bombshells. Anakin, excuse me, that's not Anakin, it's Bitch Please. And she's out of the pack as well, so Tyranny going to see if she can pick up a couple more points here before calling this jam off. Crashes through the pack.
Looks like a few
Barrel
skaters
through
taking
the
a
pack.
tumble.
Now we've got Anakin Shit Talker jamming for the Bombshells. For the Coffin Draggers is going to be Devil's Advocate.
I'm never going to be used to Lilu being Tyranny.
It looks like we have had a penalty assessed. Looks like Bombshells had a penalty assessed on their jammer there during that jam. So Anakin Shit Talker exits the track. And entering the track is our game executioner, Freya Hugs. And it's a team timeout for the Bombshells. So the Bombshells taking a team timeout to talk over some of the action. We will wait and see if that develops into a challenge or not. But meanwhile, let's toss it over to Kyle and give some more love to some of our sponsors.
Nutrition One Lunch School Program. Food is the energy that growing children need, providing healthy, great tasting, and freshly prepared whole foods to local schools valley-wide. Nutrition One works closely with the Department of Education and the USDA to make sure our children are getting what they need daily to stay focused and get the best out of their school lunch. Above and Beyond Palette Creations. Repurposing palettes into art. They have created all of our signage here at Hall of Dames. For information or commission work, see Bobby Ross, the coach of the Schoolyard Scrappers. You can also find them on Facebook, Above and Beyond Palette Creations. AZDD Snack Bar. Be sure to visit the Arizona Derby Dames Snack Bar to grab a cold beverage, some chips, some candy. All proceeds go to the league and support is greatly appreciated.
We are getting back to the action, and once again, this is going to be a power jam for the Coffin Draggers. Devil's Advocate stepping to the jammer line.
Bombshells adjusted their lineup a little bit, try and make it as strong as possible. But Devil's Advocate manages to sneak her way through the pack. Dirty carry knocks Devil's Advocate to the infield and beautifully reforms that wall with Scarlet.
Just about half of this power jam gone, and that was the first scoring pass for Devil's Advocate. Now coming on around again for scoring attempt number 2 on this Coffin Draggers power jam, and this time runs squarely into the back of one of the one of the Bombshells blockers. And gets on through the pack on her second scoring pass. We've got about 10 seconds to go here in the Coffin Draggers power jam. Here comes Devil's Advocate. Runs up into that wall this time. Keeps on her skates, though, and gets through on a third scoring pass, and that'll do it for the power jam.
Now coming to the jam line for your Bombshells, it's Skid Vicious. Looks like the Coffin Dragger jammer picked up a penalty, so it's going to be a power jam for your Bombshells.
And this will be the last jam of the first quarter as the clock has hit quadruple zeros, so. Underway, and there goes Skid Vicious up to the pack, patiently waiting for her blockers to give her a hand. Tries to duck her way through a wall of Coffin Dragger defenders at the front of the pack and escorted off onto the infield.
Bombshells doing a good job of trying to keep those Coffin Draggers separated.
Skid Vicious.
Oh my God, you guys, I just found out that the 50-50 raffle is already over $200. Oh my God, you guys got to get a ticket.
17 seconds to go here in the power jam. Skid Vicious still trying to fight her way through the pack. Another humongous block by Tyranny there, number 23 at the top of the front straightaway. Knocks Skid Vicious down onto the infield. Clock about to expire here on the power jam. That is going to do it for the power jam. Extremely good defensive effort by the Coffin Draggers.
Looks like we've hit the end of the first quarter. Skaters are antsy to keep playing, though. All rushed up to the track. It's kind of trained into us. But now it's time for your first raffle prize. Everybody pull out your red tickets. The first raffle prize of the night is this super cute Arizona Derby Dames Christmas ornament. There's nothing that will brighten up your tree more than a roller derby ornament. I cannot tell you enough. All right, ticket number 897334. 897334. If you have the winning ticket, shout it out loud. Let me see where you're at. I'm going to draw another ticket if you don't come running for your prize. Ah, we got a winner! Come on over to the announcer booth.
Who wants some free merchandise? We've got some of our minor assaults out on the track, making their way on around, so hoot and holler and let them know they are asking for volume out there. There goes a shirt to the back straightaway, and now along the front stretch here underneath our fantastic art house? Our fantastic warehouse artwork is what I was trying to say. Our art house wearwork? I don't know, wearwork. You tell me. But there we go. Merchandise toss after every quarter here at the Hall of Dames.
Hey, Kyle. So I've been totally thinking about getting a tattoo lately, and I'm not sure where to go. I want to make sure I go to a professional artist with a clean room. I gotta know, who do you recommend?
I recommend Lost Dutchman Tattoo, the tattoo shop specializing in various styles from realism to traditional. You can customize your own tattoo. Walk-ins accepted, located at 4121 North 19th Avenue, east side of 19th Avenue, north of Indian School Road.
Nice. That's not too far away, and he sounds super professional.
I just found out that the minor assaults are selling cupcakes for $2 over by turn 2. If you're feeling like some sweets and you want to support the minor assaults, turn 2 is the place to be.
And once again, our minor assaults are looking for your support. Don't forget, fans, last June, the minor assaults, our minors team that skates in the Bank Tracks Minors Division, we're the national champions of the nation. That's right. Minnie Packow says they may be minors, but they're a major deal. Yes. At any rate, our minor assaults will be traveling to Houston, Texas in mid-June this year to defend their title. Nothing like Houston in June, am I right? Anyway, they'll be heading to Houston, where it's going to be hot and humid, and the action is going to be hot and fierce on the track. Our minor assaults defending their national title. And, you know, our adults team, they only finished second in the country. So, you know, I mean, it's not as good as the minor assaults, but still pretty good. Still pretty good. They finished second in the country. So they will be there as well, looking to improve on their standing in the last 2 years nationwide.
You know what one of my favorite things in the world is? Churros. Delicious, sugary, breaded amazingness sent down from the heavens. Right now, we have one of the best churro makers out there here, Fantasy Funnel Cake. It's fresh, never frozen funnel cakes, fresh squeezed bread, squeezed lemonade, and king-size churros. I still have an entire half a churro because it's too big. It's delicious.
It is time to get back to the action. Your score right now as we get ready to kick off the second quarter, Coffin Draggers 89, Bombshells 16. Stepping up to the jammer line is going to be number 101, Devil's Advocate for the Coffin Draggers. And for the Bombshells, it's Anakin Shit-Tucker. Both jammers right up into the middle of the pack. Looks like we got a pretty full pack out there. And ducking down and running along the inside coping, there goes Devil's Advocate. And she's out and clears your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Anakin Shit-Talker exits the pack as well. And Devil's Advocate gets through the pack, picks up her points, and calls off the jam.
I'm not even sure how she stayed on the track for that one. She did some weird kind of flip around thing. It was pretty cool. Now coming to the track for the Bombshells jammer, it's Bitch Please. And Skeletina for the Coffin Draggers. Looks like there were a couple of penalties assessed on the Bombshells side, so they're still moving some things about before they blow the whistle.
Full complement of Coffin Draggers skaters out there, so they've got a 2-skater advantage in the pack right now, do the Coffin Draggers. And you can see right there, Skeletina able to get right through the pack.
Bitch Please doing her best to try and find some purchase against that angry wall of Coffin Draggers. Tyranny doing a great job keeping her in with Craven.
Coming on around the corner, there goes Skeletina down along the inside. Those Coffin Draggers have that pack supremely sealed off in there. Now Bitch Please trying to take advantage and get around, but they're keeping an eye on her. Moxie Mausoleum pushing her up into that outside rail. And there goes Skeletina again, just like she's out there doing aerobics. Coming on through. This will be scoring pass number 4 for Skeletina in this regular jam. That time runs up into a blocker and gets knocked off stride.
Coming to the track now for your, well, let's see, what was the point count on that?
And there it is, the Coffin Draggers, 4 full scoring passes. 20 points for Skeletina during that jam.
The first 20-point jam of the night. How exciting. Now coming to the jam line, it looks like it is Anakin Shit-Talker for the Bombshells and Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers. Van Gore taking that panty off to create a little bit of confusion and escaping the pack, while Anakin is still fighting to get out, it looks like.
There goes Victoria Van Gore, gets on through the pack on a scoring pass, and they're coming around for seconds. Meanwhile, a whole lot of action going on in the pack as the Bombshells jammer tries to get through. Victoria Van Gore able to dodge a block there right in the middle of the turn, and she gets through on a scoring pass.
Looks like Anakin Shit-Talker switched to some defense for her team, help try and stop that flow of points. And it looks like Victoria Van Gore gets out and calls the jam. Let's see how many points she picked up. Waiting for that official word. Looks like Coffin Draggers picked up 15 points that jam. Also, a little fun fact about the funnel cake truck. The guy who runs it also skates roller derby. You can catch him at Great Skate quite a bit in his off time. But back to the jam at hand. Looks like Tyranny is your lead jammer. She sneaks through the pack, picks up points, and calls it off before Dirty Carrie can make the pack.
Setting up the jam now for the Bombshells is going to be Anakin Shit-Talker, and jamming for the Coffin Draggers. Starting off as the jammer for the first time, it is going to be the Destroyer. Even though the Destroyer has taken over as jammer a couple of times due to star passes. The pack quickly comes together. Destroyer looking for her teammates to get a little bit of help here. Meanwhile, also still fighting her way to the front of the pack and trying to outrun the Bombshells to the corner, and does so. And that's the Destroyer out there and is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Anakin Shit-Talker is still hemmed in the pack, trying to fight her way through.
The Destroyer pushing against that wall of Bombshells with all her might, and she finally sneaks out of the pack past Swifty. Anakin Shit-Talker is still stuck behind a wall of Coffin Draggers.
There goes Dez angling up to the rail, trying to find her way through, and goes ahead and calls off the jam. Setting up now, it's going to be Dirty Carrie for the Bombshells, and that's Skeletina jamming for the Coffin Draggers. There goes Skeletina down to the inside, and Skeletina is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Dirty Carrie tries to find an opening, and now emerges from the pack for the Bombshells as well. There goes Skeletina. Tries to get through the pack, but knocks slightly off balance and skid it down along the mid straightaway.
Coming to the track now, I think for the first time tonight, it's Irish Car Bomb as a jammer. And Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers.
Irish Car Bomb containing Old Greg's favorite spirit, Bailey's Irish Cream.
I actually recently found out Irish Car Bomb works as a full-time nurse.
Yeah, indeed.
We have a lot of skaters in a lot of different professions, and I always appreciate having another healthcare professional in the league.
Victoria Van Gore is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers, and now approaching the pack on her first scoring pass, able to angle her way through and pick up some points. They're not letting Irish Car Bomb get out. Hard blocking from several skaters in black jerseys. Victoria Van Gore able to weave her way back and forth and get through the pack. 10 seconds to go here in this jam. Victoria Van Gore looking for more points. And that's going to do it for that jam. We will wait for the official score there and see what the Coffin Draggers picked up this time.
Looks like the Bombshells may have picked up a jammer penalty. So I believe it's a power jam for the Coffin Draggers. Devil's Advocate will do the honor for this power jam.
Devil's Advocate now bumped off onto the infield by that pivot for the Bombshells. Trying to find her way through the pack now. Fighting her way up to the outside. Trying to get around that pivot, and now able to use the outside of the track to her advantage. And Devil's Advocate is out of the pack and now an active scorer on this Coffin Draggers Power Jam with 33 seconds to go.
Skid Vicious catching Devil's Advocate as she tries to slide through the pack. Bombshell's doing a great job keeping their wall together, but it looks like the Coffin Draggers have the goat.
Yeah, once again, like you said, that this is textbook execution of the Power Jam. You can see that the Coffin Draggers have a Bombshell pinned in behind them, so that means they control the pace of play, and they can keep that pack all but stationary there on the track. Clock fixing to expire here on the Power Jam. There it is. That's going to do it. We'll wait to find out the official score there Devil's Advocate ran into a little bit of interference on that last scoring pass. And we will see if she was able to complete it or not. Stepping up to the jammer line for the next jam is going to be Anakin Shit-Talker for the Bombshells. And for the Coffin Draggers.
Looks like the Coffin Draggers managed to pick up 10 points that last jam.
And we are underway. There goes Victoria Van Gore as the jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Couldn't see it. She was behind the safety railing, and she is already your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. So she is out of the pack and clear and coming on around.
Anakin Shit-Talker trying to make her way through the pack, but the Coffin Draggers are just relentless. But she manages to sneak past Laura Stabs. Van Gore hitting that wall of bombshells before calling it off to try and prevent Anakin from getting any points.
We've got Dirty Carrie getting ready to jam for the Bombshells, and it's going to be Skeletina for the Coffin Draggers.
Looks like the Coffin Draggers are down a blocker from that last jam. So Bombshells will be skating a full pack. Dirty Carrie manages to sneak through on the low past the Panda Face Killer and is your lead jammer. Coffin Draggers doing their best to keep that pack as fast as possible and make it hard for the jammer to catch up and get any points.
Coffin Draggers did, in fact, push the pace of play, and they caused Dirty Carrie to go ahead and have to call off the jam rather than surrendering any points, but Coffin Draggers were able to pick up a point there on the back end of it, so they do steal a point during that jam. It's going to be Bitch Please for the Bombshells. And for the Coffin Draggers, I believe that's going to be Victoria Van Gore. It is Victoria Van Gore, and she is again already clear as your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
Victoria Van Gore coming around for her first scoring pass, and it looks like Bitch Please has switched to defense on the Bombshells to try and minimize the amount of points she gets. But Victoria Van Gore manages to get through the pack and get a full scoring pass. Coffin Draggers still doing a great job of keeping Bitch Please contained, but she manages to sneak out. Great offense by the Bombshells there.
We are just under 3 minutes to go until halftime. The action continues apace here in the second quarter. We just thought we'd take a second to remind you at halftime we've got all kinds of great food options for you. Off the Hook Taco Truck is outside. The Funnel Cake and Churro Truck is outside. The snack bar in here. The Minor Assaults are selling cupcakes. Don't forget all sorts of food options available for you here at the upcoming halftime break.
Looks like it's a power jam for the Coffin Draggers, and Skeletina gets to do the honors. Oh, her toe stop work is so beautiful. She managed to tiptoe on the coping to get out.
And Skeletina up into the pack on her first scoring pass, trying to find her way through the pack here. Some defense from the Bombshells making that challenging. Pushed up to the high side and able to outrun those defenders to the front of the pack. 28 seconds to go here in the power jam, and Skeletina coming on around.
Looks like a lot of those blockers are way out of play. Coffin Draggers pulling that goat maneuver again to get their jammer out.
Any defenders that are more than 20 feet from the main pack are not allowed to block, so you can see how controlling the pace of play is a definite strategy for the team on offense during a power jam. Trying to find her way through here. We'll get those lights back on here in just a moment. And that's going to do it for the jam.
Be careful on that side wall right there. There is a light switch, and it will literally ruin everything if it gets turned off.
I believe we've still got one set of lights off. If you guys could check those switches behind you, like literally right there. All right, we're all on. We're back. Okay.
Back in business. All right.
Okay, let's ask the guy with the worst eyesight in here if the lights are all on or not. Okay, setting up the jam now. That is going to be Devil's Advocate for the Coffin Draggers. And clinging to the inside of the track, able to stay on her feet, Devil's Advocate emerges from the pack as the lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
Devil's Advocate getting through the pack right there reminded me of the guy who was constantly falling on the ice.
Just constantly, like, in danger
Oh,
of
no.
falling. Woo, 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 woo. Meanwhile, back to the game action, halfway through this jam, and Devil's Advocate now
Trapped behind a wall of bombshells, it looks like. Dirty Carrie started playing a little bit of defense while still trying to maneuver her way through the Coffin Draggers. I got Devil's Advocate trapped.
defensive struggle here in the back straightaway. And now we've got some action going on. We've got some people throwing some blocks. So there goes Devil's Advocate right out of the pack. Calls off the jam. And that actually serves to save some time. And we'll get one more jam in here before halftime.
Now coming to the jam line for the first time tonight, it's Beverly Kills. How exciting.
Did you know that Beverly Kills' daughter skates for the minor assaults? Beverly Kills' daughter, Amelia Derhart.
She does, and she's a really good skater. She helped bring home the national trophy this year.
I literally only said that to get a cheer. I'm such a cheer. Oh. Meanwhile, Beverly Kills is your lead jammer now, exiting the pack, number 90210. Beverly Kills is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
Anakin Shit-Talker still trying to make her way through the pack, but getting past Zombaby and Tyranny is proving to be quite the task. Scarlett coming in with some quick offense, trying to get her jammer out.
And that was going to be a race to the front of the pack, and it looks like there goes Beverly Kills, able to get through on another scoring pass. Anakin was almost clear. We've got 8 seconds left to go in this jam.
Panda Face Killer was not letting up on Annika. Annika. Of course I meant Anakin.
Annika Sorenstam. Little did we know. And there we are. That is going to do it for the first half. We will wait for the official score update from the jam referee. It's a 12-point jam to close out the first half. So our score heading into halftime, Coffin Draggers 216 and Bombshells 16. And we will step aside for a 15-minute halftime break. Once again, all sorts of wunderbar food options outside and inside for you as well. And we'll be back with you in 15 minutes.
While the Coffin Draggers and the Bombshells switch benches, we actually have another prize to give away. Everyone pull out your red tickets for me. We have a couple of super cute necklaces from the Coffin Draggers. And that ticket number is 897205. I'm going to repeat that one more time, 897205. If you have the winning ticket, scream, shout, and run on over here. Let me know you got it. Oh, I see someone freaking out over there. Come running. These necklaces are super cute.
Here come your minor assaults with more merchandise. If you'd like to get some free swag, let them hear it, especially there in the back straightaway.
With an arm like that, maybe she should have played football too. Guys, for real though, you gotta buy a 50-50 raffle ticket. I just found out that it's over $300 already. That's a ton of money. Buy a raffle ticket. Also, while you're over near the merch area grabbing your drinks or purchasing some fantastic Arizona Derby Dames swag, there's also a silent auction going on. Please support our juniors, the minor assaults, and visit their silent auction table next to the AZDD merch window. They're fundraising to defend their #1 ranking at Battle on the Bank. That's right, Arizona juniors have the national championship. That's fantastic. But I'm sure you're curious what kinds of things they're auctioning off. There's a lot of really cool stuff. There are Coyotes tickets. I don't know if you like hockey, but I love hockey. I need to have myself some of those Coyotes tickets. There's also some fantastic palette paintings. There's Hot Shots skater memorabilia. And there's even a Top Golf package for, I think they said it was 4 people for the Top Golf package. But definitely come on over to that booth right next to the merch window and participate in the silent auction. With a few seconds left at the end of halftime, refs are putting up finger guns. It's time to go. Coming to the jam line now for the Coffin Draggers, it's Skeletina. And for the Bombshells, it's Anakin Shit Talker. Do you know Anakin Shit Talker just made Hot Shots? She is one hell of a jammer, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you not paying attention, Hot Shots is our national touring league. We are ranked #2 in the United States right now, but I'm convinced LA is going down this year. Anyway, back to the action at hand. Looks like Skeletina is now your lead jammer.
Skeletina exiting the pack and coming on around. Your score right now, Coffin Draggers 216, Bombshells 16. Skeletina now up to the pack, trying to get through on a scoring pass, weaving her way through, and Skeletina is on her way around. I know we've got some first-time fans here tonight. You know, in roller derby, you get a point for every skater that you pass once you have exited the pack the first time. So that's how you put points on the board. Skeletina now picking up points as she gets past those bombshell skaters, gets through, and she signals to call off the jam rather than surrender any points to Anakin Chiptucker.
Now coming to the jam line for the Bombshells, it's Dirty Carrie, who is now my hair twinsy. We are now hair twinsies. And jamming for the Coffin Draggers is Victoria Van Gore.
Coffin Draggers putting 9 more points on the board there in our first jam of the third quarter.
Looks like Coffin Draggers passed the panty, but the Bombshells were quick to collect her for only a moment before she escaped, and now Devil's Advocate is your lead jammer.
Devil's Advocate down to the inside, jumps over the outstretched leg of a Bombshell and stays on the track in the midst of a scoring pass. Dirty Carrie now out of the pack as well for the Bombshells. So Devil's Advocate through the pack and calls off the jam. 9 more points on the board for the Coffin Draggers during that jam.
So I just got some pretty historical news. It looks like Bitchin' Kitten is in the house. For those of you who don't know, he designed this bank track. It was all him.
Down to the inside, there goes Impaler Swift, and she is your lead jammer for the Bombshells, but right in behind, there is Beverly Kills trying to force the issue. The 2 jammers now making their way around and down the back straightaway. And Impaler Swift goes ahead and calls off the jam at that point.
Impaler Swift makes the wise decision to call off that jam to make sure Coffin Draggers can't pick up any more points.
On the jammer line now, it's going to be the Destroyer for the Coffin Draggers. For the Bombshells, it's Anakin Shittucker.
The Destroyer pushing her way through that high side, trying to find purchase. But Bombshells doing a great job holding that wall. But they get pushed out of play, and the Destroyer is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Looks like Anakin Shittalker still trying to make her way through that vicious wall of draggers.
Couple of collisions there, a couple of skaters taking a tumble in the back straightaway, including the Bombshells jammer, Anakin Shittalker. Destroy her out of the pack now on a scoring pass and coming around for more points with 20 seconds to go in this jam. We've got 8 seconds to go in the jam here. Destroyer trying to make her way through on another scoring pass, fighting her way to the front of the pack as the clock expires.
Looks like the Bombshells may have picked up a penalty, so they might be skating short a blocker.
We're going to have Skeletina jamming for the Coffin Draggers. And for the Bombshells, that is Dirty Carrie. Another 9-point jam for the Coffin Draggers there. And there goes Skeletina out of the pack as your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Dirty Carrie routed off onto the infield trying to find her way through there. And Dirty Carrie now out of the pack as well for the Bombshells. Skeletina up to the pack in a hurry, gets through, picks up her points, and calls off the jam. Setting up now, looks like it's going to be Skid Vicious for the Bombshells, and for the Coffin Draggers, that's Devil's Advocate.
Oh, are people doing it? Okay. Is it it's the...
There along the inside goes Devil's Advocate, and Devil's Advocate is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Now Skid Vicious out of the pack as well, and your captain of the Bombshells is going to try to press the issue here. Tiptoeing along the inside of the track, there goes Devil's Advocate picking up her points, and she calls off the jam.
It's the side right over here. That's south side? Okay. Just a reminder that if you parked on the south side of the building, you cannot parallel park along that fence right there. Your car will be towed. Please do not park along that right there. Your car will be towed, no joke. Also, make sure you did not park in the dispensary parking lot. They actually have a tow truck waiting behind the corner to grab your car.
Yeah, if you parked in the dispensary parking lot, your car's already gone, so don't even worry about it. Just stay here and enjoy the rest of the bout. There goes Beverly Kills through picking up her points, getting a couple of points before calling the jam off. Beverly Kills was the lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers there.
Coming to the jam line for the first time for the Bombshells, it looks like, is that Remy Ruckus? One of our newest freshmen graduated to rookie status.
It's going to be Remy Ruckus, and she is on the jammer line all by her lonesome. So, hey, your first time jamming in an adult level bout, why not do a power jam? There goes Remy Ruckus for the Bombshells on the jammer line, and this one is underway. Remy Ruckus out there to do a power jam for the Bombshells. Once again, one of our newest league rookies just graduated our fresh meat program and drafted by the Bombshells, and now out there to do the power jam. Gets bumped up into the upper rail by that Coffin Dragger defense that's been stout all night. And then that pivot for the Coffin Dragger says, welcome to the league. Here's my shoulder. Remy Ruckus, oh my goodness, that is just impolite.
Tyranny showing no mercy on that jammer. Carrie doing a good job playing some offense for Remy.
Remy Ruckus now trying to fight her way through, just trying to brute force push her way through those last two Coffin Dragger blockers. We've got 10 seconds to go here in the Bombshells Power Jam. Remy Ruckus looking for an opening now up to the outside. Going to get hit up into that rail one more time. Tyranny craving cadavers that time, forcing her up into the rail. So there we are, no points scored for either side during that power jam. More excellent defense from the Coffin Draggers. We are looking at Anakin Shit Talker on the jammer line for the Bombshells. And for the Coffin Draggers, that is going to be Skeletina.
Okay, the long ones definitely save for like halftime. Like if
battling their way through, and there goes Skeletina, your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Anakin Shit Tucker exits the pack as well for the Bombshells. So now Skeletina going to see what she can get here down to the inside. Gets those points and calls the jam off.
Coming to the jam line now is Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers, and it looks like Dirty Carrie for the Bombshells. Both teams skating with a full pack, it looks like.
There we are to get underway. Both jammers escorted down to the infield by the respective defenses out there. And exiting the pack is Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers, and Victoria Van Gore is your lead jammer.
The Destroyer taking a hit on Dirty Carrie, knocking her down, but she jumps back up. Victoria Van Gore coming around for a scoring pass, trying to find a way through the pack, and she escapes, picking up that last jammer point, and she calls it. Now coming to the jam line for the Bombshells, it's Skid Vicious. And for the Coffin Draggers, it is Beverly Kills. She's killing it tonight.
Beverly Kills now up to the front of the pack quickly, trying to get past those last defenders for the Bombshells. And she does, but down along the inside, there goes Skid Vicious for the Bombshells, and Skid Vicious is now your lead jammer. Beverly Kills right along in behind. Skid Vicious just had an opening and had more momentum. Now putting some distance on there. The Coffin Draggers trying to push the pace of play and move the pack along. Down to the inside goes Skid Vicious and calls off the jam after picking up a handful of points. 2 points to be exact for the Bombshells. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And it's going to be Dirty Carry for the Bombshells. And for the Coffin Draggers, it's Devil's Advocate.
Looks like the Bombshells may be down a blocker. Devil's Advocate skating right by on that low as quick as possible. Dirty Carry still trying to push her way through the pack.
Devil's Advocate weaves her way up to the outside of the track along that railing and is through on a scoring pass. Now making her way down the front straightaway. Dirty Carry is trying to find her way out of the pack still. As the pack makes their way into the back straightaway, there goes Devil's Advocate on another scoring pass.
Dirty Carry doing her best to get past that dragger wall, but Grace Ventura is telling her, no, you're going nowhere.
Ten seconds to go here in this jam, and there's Devil's Advocate. Manages to stay on her feet there. Tripped up, tried to jump over an outstretched leg in the middle of the turn and managed to stay on her skates and stayed upright. It's going to be Skeletina jamming for the Coffin Draggers. For the Bombshells, it's Anakin Shit-Talker with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Coming to the Jam 9 now, Skeletina pushing her way through the pack, and she is your lead jammer. Looks like Anakin Shit-Talker pushes that last dragger out of play and gets out of the pack as well. And Skeletina manages to collect some points and call it off before Anakin can get there. Let's see how many points she got. That's a full scoring pass of 4 points.
Setting up the jam now is going to be Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers.
And it looks like, for her first time on the jam line, it's Lieutenant Ripley.
There's Lieutenant Ripley jamming for the Bombshells. Meanwhile, Victoria Van Gore exits the pack and is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Lieutenant Ripley is trying to get clear, trying to shake loose, gets knocked down by that pivot stripe. The Destroyer asking Lieutenant Ripley to please have a seat and be patient. Your pizza will be ready soon. Victoria Van Gore now approaching the pack. It's a minute 45 to go here in the quarter. Victoria Van Gore mid-pack trying to fight her way through.
I don't mean to be biased, but he's totally the best announcer.
Up to the outside, down to the middle. Here goes Victoria Van Gore. Lieutenant Ripley still trying to find her way through. 18 seconds to go here in this jam. Victoria Van Gore exits the pack.
Lieutenant Ripley pushing hard on Laura Stabs. But Laura Stabs is a very skilled, tough blocker to get through. Gory managing to hop over that last foot and collect another round of points.
15-point jam for the Coffin Draggers. Pushes them up over 300 for the bout with 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. Setting up the jam now is going to be Dirty Carry for the Bombshells. And jamming for the Coffin Draggers, that is Beverly Kills. And there goes Beverly Kills, and she's your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
Dirty Carry making her way out of the pack. Trying to regain as much track as possible on Beverly Kills. But Beverly Kills calls it off before she can collect any points, I think. I don't know. Let's wait for the official call on that. Coffin Draggers picked up 2 points. And back on the jammer line is Remy Ruckus for the Bombshells. And for the Coffin Draggers, it's Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate playing a little bit of jammer defense and knocks Remy Ruckus down to the infield. Remy Ruckus back up on her wheels now and trying to find an opening. Remy Ruckus up to the outside, fighting her way around, and Remy Ruckus is your lead jammer for the Bombshells. Remy Ruckus up and out of the pack and will try to put some points on the board for the Bombshells. Devil's Advocate bumped down to the infield and has to get up and reestablish behind the skater who knocked her off to the infield. Remy Ruckus, big collision there, runs into the Destroyer. The Destroyer returns the favor, a humongous block. And Remy Ruckus goes ahead and calls it off.
But I think Remy Ruckus may have actually gotten all 4 blocker points. Let's see what the officials have to say.
Well, at least one official says quarter break. We are at the end of the 3rd quarter. We're going to wait for the score there for Remy Ruckus. It's going to be discussed here with our jam referee and Eye in the Sky. So we will step aside very briefly.
I want this. I want this. Give it to me. Waiting on that official score.
Hey, who wants free merchandise?
I like free stuff. Free stuff is rad.
Coming on down as one of our representatives of our minor assaults, who of course are going to be skating on this very track in about 20 minutes. Let her know if you'd like to pick up some merchandise. She says, what? She says she can't hear you. I don't understand. You're not screaming loud enough, apparently.
I don't know that they want those shirts bad enough. I thought you guys liked free stuff.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys don't want a free shirt, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
yeah,
I like free stuff.
Yeah. There we are.
Looks like we have that official score, and Remy Ruckus picked up 3 points for the Bombshells. Since it's quarter break, you know what time it is. Pull out those red raffle tickets. We got another stellar prize from your local schoolyard scrappers. Schoolyard Scrappers donated this. Oh my God, I want this. I'm so jealous. It's a painting class for 2. That's awesome. Pull out your red tickets. The winning number is 897 301. 897 301. You got the winning ticket. Scream, shout. Let me see where you're at. Or we're going to call another ticket. Looks like we got a winner. Come on over near the announcer booth.
Yeah, I was going to say, good thing it's not painting and wine. For those of you that aren't watching, like here, the gentleman that won it is like 9 years old.
He's going to be a very good painter.
I'm going to start with this one.
Hey, Derby fans, you guys just heard the rousing ovation that Remy Ruckus got when she scored her first points as an Arizona Derby Dame. If you would be interested in eventually becoming a skater like that, there are several avenues. Our minor assaults are welcoming all skaters, young ladies between the ages of 10 and 17, who love to skate, or if you know somebody who meets that simple criterion. Our minor assaults are a nonprofit 501c3, and they're always looking for new skaters to join their team. Our coaches not only teach technique and knowledge of the sport, but they also help build leadership, teamwork, and problem-solving skills that'll help in life situations far beyond roller derby. Minor skating skills, dedication to learn, and a positive mental attitude are all that we require. Come see what all the fun is about. Ask any Arizona Derby Dame how to get involved or visit the website at azddinspire.org for information on donating or sponsoring the minor assaults.
For the month of February, the Arizona Derby Dames will be working with Feed My Starving Children, a local nonprofit that feeds hungry and malnourished children all over the world. This month, skaters from the Arizona Derby Dames will be volunteering to pack food boxes to send to starving children. Please come volunteer with us on Wednesday, February 27th from 8:30 to 10 p.m. For more information, please go to their website at fmsc.org.
And during that quarter break, we did have a challenge called by the Coffin Draggers. So Coffin Draggers took a second to call a challenge on a ruling there during that last jam of the third quarter. The official word we've gotten from the regulators is that the challenge was upheld, so the penalty stands. Penalty will not be reversed. And the Coffin Draggers have one challenge and one timeout remaining for the fourth quarter.
The Arizona Derby Dames support local businesses and vendors in our area. Tonight we are hosting Fanny Pack. Stop by and check out different styles and opinions on fanny packs.
And we get ready to go here in the first jam of the fourth quarter. It is going to start off with a power jam for the Bombshells. This Dirty Carrie out there all by her lonesome, doing that power jam thing for the Bombshells as we get underway here. Big collision there. Dirty Carrie and one of her blockers, and one of the blockers for the Coffin Draggers down to the track surface. They're back up though. Dirty Carrie fighting her way around the outside of the pack, bumping into a couple of skaters. Trying to find her way through the pack, fighting her way through, and there goes Dirty Carrie out of the pack. Halfway through this Bombshells power jam, and Dirty Carrie is now an active scorer.
Coffin Draggers making a strong front wall to try and minimize as many points as possible for the Bombshells.
Another big collision there. Another skater taking a tumble with 5 seconds to go here in the power jam. Trying to find her way through here and find her way past those black jerseys at the front of the pack. And that's going to do it for the jam as the 1 minute jam clock expires. 4 points there for the Bombshells during the power jam.
Coming to the jam line now for the Bombshells, we got Skid Vicious. And for the Coffin Draggers, it's Van Gore. Van Gore easily slips through that pack and is your lead jammer. Skiddy making her way through that wall of Coffin Draggers, trying to find a hole. And she successfully is out. But Van Gore calls it before she can make it around to hit the back of the pack.
So 4 points there for Victoria Van Gore, and we line up with Skeletina on the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers, and it's Anakin Shitaka for the Bombshells.
Finger guns up, just waiting for that whistle. Skeletina sneaks through on the inside, but is met by Brawler Bunny, but she manages to juke around her, and Skeletina is your lead jammer.
Anakin Shitaka out of the pack as well, so she's going to try to force the pace of play here. A big block there along the back straightaway. Did not quite catch the number of that Mack truck, but definitely opened up a passage there for Skeletina. 4 more points for the Coffin Draggers, and we step forward into the next jam with Devil's Advocate on the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers. Dirty Carrie for the Bombshells.
Dirty Carrie pushing, trying to find her way through the pack, but it looks like Devil's Advocate makes her way out first and is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
Trying to find her way through the pack is that jammer for the Bombshells. Up to the top side now, there it goes. Battling her way through and ducking down to the inside is Devil's Advocate.
Dirty Carrie still trying to find her way past Laura Stabs and Craven Cadavers and waits for Devil's Advocate and nails her off the track.
And Devil's Advocate able to just keep on going because the blocker who blocked her off the track also fell off the track. So Devil's Advocate didn't have to get up and reestablish behind that. That time right up the middle. Spun herself right through there and able to get by on a pretty easy scoring pass.
She turned into a pancake to get through that
Indeed.
hole.
Two-dimensional shape.
Two-dimensional shape.
Looks like setting up the jam for the first time this evening. It's going to be Scarlet Knockout for the Bombshells. And for the Coffin Draggers, it's Beverly Kills.
Looks like Coffin Draggers picked up a penalty that last jam, so they're skating short. Beverly Kills manages to find her way out on the low side of the track and is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Scarlet Knockout doing her best to juke and weave through those blockers. Bodily Harm doing her best to lay some offense for her jammer.
Meanwhile, your Coffin Draggers jammer Beverly Kills dispensing with those blockers and getting her way right on through the pack.
Beverly Kills coming up for a scoring pass, but jumps back on the track to call it off because Scarlet Knockout had snuck out of the pack and was hot on her tail. Ladies and gentlemen, I just found out 50-50 raffle is at $430. That means you take home half of that. We need to get that over $500 before the end of this game. You want a bigger payout, right? You got to pay to play.
Victoria Van Gore jamming for the Coffin Draggers and is your lead jammer already. Exiting the pack is Anakin Shit-Talker for the Bombshells. There goes Victoria Van Gore through the pack. She gets those points and she calls off the jam.
Now lining up for the Coffin Draggers, it's Skeletina. And lining up for the Bombshells, it's Skid Vicious.
Good way to get comfortable and maybe announce the jammers for a couple of jams. You know, just like
I'll let you do the next one.
Hey, Skid Vicious for the Bombshells and for the Coffin Draggers, it's so-and-so.
Skeletina out early for the Coffin Draggers, and Skid Vicious out right behind her.
Skeletina easily weaves through that pack and calls it off, so Skid can't get any points.
Jamming for the Coffin Draggers is the Destroy Her, and jamming for the Bombshells is Dirty Carry.
Who is totally my hair twinsy now. We're totes hair twinsies. The Destroyer trying to do a panty pass, but she dropped it, but managed to pick it up without getting too far. Hopefully there wasn't a penalty incurred for that. Coming to the, go ahead.
Jam for the Coffin Draggers is Beverly Kills, and jamming for the Bombshells is Anakin Shit-Talker. Turns out it's a power jam for the Coffin Draggers. See what they can pick up.
Bombshells doing their best to keep that pack as slow as humanly possible to keep a strong wall. But it looks like Skeletina managed to sneak on by. Skeletina doing a cute little bunny hop to get through the pack again, picking up more points.
Skeletina running into some problems on this next pass, but the Bombshells get out of place.
With 7 seconds left on the clock, let's see if she can get past these few blockers, and she does successfully. Let's wait for the official count to see what that score was.
Next up, jamming for the Coffin Draggers is Devil's Advocate, and now up for the Bombshells is Anakin Shit Talker.
Looks like that last jam, Skeletina picked up 20 points for the Coffin Draggers. Devil's Advocate trying to push through that wall of green, but finding no relief. Anakin Shit Talker is still trying to squeeze her way between Grace Ventura and Devo.
Devil's Advocate gets out.
Devil's Advocate is your lead jammer now. Skid Vicious delivering a harsh hit to Devil's Advocate on the inside of the track.
And then taking one herself.
Anakin Shit Talker still trying to push through that tough blocker from the Coffin Draggers. Looks like it's Laura Stabs. And Devo holding her in.
Devil's Advocate having some trouble getting through this wall. Anakin Shit Talker almost through the Coffin Draggers. And that's the jam.
That's Beverly Kills, okay. Dirty Carry.
Next up, jamming for the Coffin Draggers is Beverly Kills, and for the Bombshells is Dirty Carry. Both jammers fighting for that top spot.
Beverly Kills manages to sneak out on the low and is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers, while Dirty Carry is still fighting her way through that vicious wall of draggers. Looks like Brawler Bunny trying to come in and play some O for her jammer. Breaking up that wall of draggers.
Dirty Carry trying to catch you inside, but the jam is called off.
Beverly Kills calling that jam before Dirty Carry can get too hot on her tail. That's Bitch Please for the Bombshells.
And Devil's Advocate. Jamming for the Coffin Draggers is Devil's Advocate, and now for the Bombshells, jamming is Bitch Please. Devil's Advocate sailing through the outside. Bitch Please having a hard time and pushed into the infield.
Bitch Please doing some excellent juking, trying to get out of that pack. She's just got to find some of her help.
Bitch Please almost making it out, but getting pushed to the inside as Devil's Advocate comes around for another lap. That's another 10 points for the Coffin Draggers. Next up jamming is Skeletina for the Coffin Draggers and Anakin Shit Talker for the Bombshells.
Looks like Skeletina is your lead jammer, sneaking her way out through the inside. Looks like Anakin Shit Talker is still trying to make her way out, but Tyranny is not letting up. But she manages to sneak right past Zombaby. Skeletina calling it off before Anakin Shit Talker can get too close.
Looks like it's a power jam for the Bombshells. Dirty Carry's gonna run. Dirty Carry sneaking through the wall of the Coffin Draggers, but ends up on the inside.
She's got a reset at the back of the pack. Whenever a skater hits off the jammer has to honor whoever hit them off, as well as all of the players that were in front of her. Dirty Carry does some excellent juking there on the low and gets out.
Bombshells playing some offensive line here, trying to keep the Coffin Draggers separated. And Dirty Carry is able to skip all of them and get through.
That was some excellent fancy feet from Dirty Carey sneaking through. And wonderful offense by Scarlet Knockout.
Coffin Draggers have managed to set up another wall, see if she can get by. And Dirty Carey once again touching no one, gets through.
Getting another full scoring pass. Let's wait for the official word and see how many points she picked up that jam. Looks like the Bombshells picked up 10 points.
Jamming next for the Coffin Draggers is Beverly Kills. And for the Bombshells is Skid Vicious. Looks like we're having a discussion with the regulators.
Regulators, looks like they're calling an OTO to discuss some possible penalties. In the meantime, where do you go to pick up all of your skating gear? Like, I really need to find a good, solid place with knowledgeable staff to get my new pair of skates.
Well, I go to Devastation. Devastation is your go-to shop for everything on wheels. From the raddest of rad roller skates to the bomb.com light-up wheels spinning on slicker than slick ball bearings. Let Devastation help you find the perfect ride and gear up to keep you protected while cruising. Offering nearly everything skate-related, from nuts and stops to tools and bags on flashy wheels. Come check out the skate ninjas that sling them unicorn boots. Visit www.devastation.com or stop by their warehouse at 2010 East University Drive in Tempe.
Sounds like a solid one-stop shop for all your skating needs. All right, and with the refs finishing deliberating, it looks like the Coffin Draggers are down 2 blockers, as well as the Bombshells down 2 blockers. This is going to be a 2-on-2 pack. Both teams have a jammer. That's good. Skid Vicious jamming for your Bombshells. Skeletina jamming for your Coffin Draggers. Skeletina manages to glide right through the pack and is your lead jammer.
Skeletina making it through the pack and calling it off before the Bombshells can get there.
And with that jam, it might be the last jam of the 4th quarter. We'll wait for the official ref call.
We have to wait for the assessment of penalties here. Any penalties called on the team that's ahead and no penalties on the team that's behind, there'd be a penalty jam. So we will wait and see if that's going to be the end or not as penalties are sorted out here. We will hear briefly here from head referee Lollipop. And they've checked in with all parties, and that is going to do it with the final whistle. That brings our first bout this evening to an end with a final score of 393-35. A dominating victory in all facets of the game. It's your Coffin Draggers getting ready for that run into the playoffs in a couple of months.
Feel free to come up to the track and slap hands with your favorite Coffin Draggers. It's definitely like starting out, I always have like a shuddery voice. Like I really need to start doing like some of these at the very beginning before we start main announcements so I can get the shakes out and then going. Go ahead and stay near the track and give some love to your Bombshells. That was a hard-fought game tonight. That might be the end of this game, folks, but go ahead and stick around. We got our minor assaults mashup bout coming up next. I know some of you might be thinking, aw, kids? No, don't think that. These kids are indestructible, and they are talented, and they are strong skaters.
We just had a fan walk by and say, I think the kids are actually destructible because Killin May Smalls is playing tonight. You'll have to stay tuned for that. Killin May Smalls number OMG.
All right, everyone, it's time to get out your red raffle tickets. We have a wonderful little prize.